Yo, what is up, YouTube? We're back with another update. I know I took a couple days off after the live stream, but I was celebrating. Because we won, guys. We won so fucking hard. And I'm not talking about the election. I'm Canadian. I don't care who you vote for. What I care about is the number. Is it going up? That's all I care about. That is my political party. I'm part of the orange fucking party, Bitcoin, Team Bitcoin. As long as it goes up, I'm fucking down, baby. And we are pumping. And we fucking nailed the move, guys. I'm not gonna lie. We absolutely smashed this. So if you go watch my last 4 videos, I did a live stream on the day of the election while we hit all-time high. But if you go watch the videos, I think they start last Friday, so a week ago, like November 1st. I did about 4 videos over 5 days. And we went from here, right? Talked about the long setup here. Talked about getting into the trade, averaging in, stop loss placement. It started moving, adjusting stop up to here, taking some off at all-time high, and we've absolutely just flown. So even in the most conservative entry, which was mine, because I entered off the 12-hour. I didn't go down to the 1 hour, even though I showed you guys the H1, right? Could enter on the low time frame and all that shit. I entered off the 12-hour. So loose stop, right? And relatively wide entry. Even on the most conservative play, which was mine, just the H12 order block alone, this is almost a 5-hour move in like a week. We caught a unlevered 15% move on Bitcoin. We were dialed in the entire time in advance. I laid this out for you while it was happening, day by day in each video. I don't see anyone on Twitter doing it like that. I don't see anyone on YouTube doing it like that. But I do that shit for you guys. And I think these quick updates are really valuable because you get to see the thought process. Okay, we entered some here. What does it mean when it keeps selling off? How do we adjust? What are we looking for on the low time frame for confirmation? And it worked out perfectly, which makes it that much more compelling. So if you really want to understand how I lay out and plan trades in advance, how I execute in real time, the psychology of it, what am I thinking as the trade develops, how am I managing the position, all that good stuff. These last 4 to 5 YouTube videos should be rewatched a bunch because it all worked out. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. I know a lot of you guys printed, which is awesome. I'm super stoked about that. We had someone in the live stream the other day being like, I made $8 million on PopCat on your call. It's like, bro, send me a tip, tip the dealer. But I'm so glad all of you guys have printed on this. I know a lot of you guys have messaged me. A lot of people passed their breakout evaluations, got payouts. People are just printing on their own based on this. Maybe they long some altcoins because of the confidence they had in the Bitcoin thesis that I laid out. So I love seeing people win. I always say this. Most importantly, I like to make money. But right up there at number 2, I love to see you guys make money. So I don't have much to say on Bitcoin, right? We're looking really strong, assuming we get a really large or a really strong weekly close through this high. I feel like it's impossible to really fade that kind of move. I think you got to have some sort of reason to fade an all-time high break, and a weekly close through it is not it. They absolutely psyoped a ton of people with this weekly close. We watched it as well. Remember, this happened, and I was like, I don't know about this weekly close, right? Swept all of the highs here and then closed kind of ugly, only to get followed up with this, right? So it's kind of similar to like one of these where it's like, oh shit, it's over, psych, right? So very happy with how this turned out. Where am I bidding, right? So let's say you miss the move. It's all fun for me to brag about the trade because I'm in it and you're fucking, you're like, well, how do I get in, right? That's going to be the next biggest question people have. They're like, I missed the move. I'm fucking depressed. I want to, I want to get involved. Prices are going up. So to me, we have a very nice area here. Let me just find where I like it the best. This right here. So this daily candle here, I like a lot. This daily bearish order block. Why do I like it? Well, look at how it has capped price. Okay. So look at how it's capped price here. Capped it, capped it, capped it, capped it, capped it. This is a really good level, in my opinion, right? So looking at this from a super straightforward kind of way, just legit support and resistance, nothing fancy. You don't need anything fancy right now, right? Don't overcomplicate it. We're in an uptrend, right? We want to buy on dips. We don't want to get scared. We don't want to assume that it's a fake out. So to me, this is the cleanest level on the chart, I think. So any sort of pullback into here, I think is a clap. Bid it. Fucking send it. Bid your alts. Bid whatever the fuck you want. It should hold here. Now, I'm going to show you another scenario where it could technically go lower, but if we're really strong, right, the pullbacks should be infrequent and they should be shallow. Remember back in January here when we started this up only, you didn't get a lot of pullbacks. You had one decent one in this entire rally from basically 25K to 70K, 200% rally. We had one pullback that was 20%. All the other ones, it just kind of grinded, right? Oh, waiting for a pullback, you never got it. There's your pullback, grind, never got it, never got it. So shallow and infrequent are going to be the pullbacks if this is really strong. And I'm not asking for a 20% pullback here. This is like 5%. So what are the levels here? This is 71-ish. And then the top here is just under 74. So I'm bidding between 70 and 74 on any sort of significant pullback. I'm bidding into this pullback zone here. What would make me think that this is all of a sudden weak and a fake out? I mean, it's pretty hard for me to see that as a situation. SPX just hit 6,000 today. You know, I don't really want to fade this. We've had a consistent spot premium. We had $1 billion in inflows. Like, there's so many things going well. I'm pretty much going to assume we remain bullish going into the end of the year. That's kind of my prognosis. I could be wrong. But every time we came down here, what did I say to you guys? All-time high this year. Every pullback, all-time high this year. And we longed. Like, I've been bullish. All-time high this year. Nonstop. Now that we're at all-time high, people are like, we're going to be at 80K soon. Get the fuck out of here with that bitch-made prediction. People don't get bullish. When everyone starts getting bullish, that means the move's already in play. It's already happened. It's way harder to be bullish when everyone's shitting their pants because we keep trading lower back to the range lows. They're wondering if the bull market's over, if this was the top. Pussies. They're not putting their fucking nuts on the line like your boy. Their neck on the line like your boy. So we've been consistent. That said, everyone is fucking giga bullish right now, as they should be, right? The whole sentiment thing works sometimes. Everyone's bullish. We got to go down. Everyone's bearish. We got to pump. Problem is you can't quantify that. It's not actionable. And sometimes everyone's bullish because we're bullish. Sometimes everyone's bearish because we're in fact bearish, right? So my prognosis is we remain bullish into the end of the year. I'm a buyer on pullbacks into here for sure. Now, if we start trading back below here, right? Like soon, not in like weeks from now, I think we'll be much higher ideally. But if we for some reason fade back below here, that would be a cause for concern. Right? So if we lose this area, we shouldn't. That's as simple as it is. That's why this is such a good level to me, because we reject. If we don't hold it on a retest and we get back below, then maybe we're going to get a more significant pullback. I don't see that happening. At least I'm not betting on that. I'm betting on continuation. So when we come here, I'm not going to assume it breaks. I'm doing the opposite. I'm going to assume that this holds. I think even if we pull back 5-10%, because of how strong Bitcoin is, a lot of altcoins will pull back way more, and people will start to freak out a little bit and be talking about deviations and shit. I'm going to be bidding there. So same thing that we talked about here. I'm giving you the zone for Bitcoin. So if you want to go long altcoins instead, when Bitcoin comes here, don't be a bitch. Go look at those altcoins that you've been waiting on and try and find your entries there if that's what you want to do. I primarily stick to Bitcoin and ETH and Solana, but same thing here, right? If you would have bid alts when I told you I was bidding Bitcoin, you would have printed Giga. So anyways, I know I mentioned in Telegram a lot of altcoins look good, and I do think that is the case. Now, Ethereum being one of them. Ethereum looks super strong. It's rallied pretty fucking hard here off of its demand and a sweep, right? 3-day OB sweep. So I think it trades at least to the mid-range here, and then we see, right? So at least up into here, and then we see. Solana is very close to where I think it's going to go, which is its range high, right? But in terms of bidding, I think you just go and you look at the daily and the 3-day. You find support, and then you wait for Bitcoin to come to that support. I think some of these older coins are starting to look interesting as well. My baby OXO finally pumping a little bit. Jesus Christ, I round-tripped this motherfucker hard. Beam, I'm still holding. I think this goes up. Where are there? Aptos, I posted this the other day. Like a lot of these alts, right? This is exactly when Bitcoin bottomed. And Aptos did 30% relative to Bitcoin's, 13. So when I give you the level on Bitcoin, you then use that to go over to alts. So I think a lot of these alts look potentially decent coming into support right here. Same thing, right? Bitcoin bottomed right as this hit support and this bounced. So I do still think Bitcoin is dominant, right? So if we pump further, I think Bitcoin still outperforms a lot of stuff. But we came into my zone finally, right? I've had this marked for ages, and we're getting a little reaction here. I'm not quite sure that this is the top yet, but we've come into that resistance area now. So you're going to want to watch that. But I think a lot of these alts look good. TIA, I think, looks great. Like, I know I hate this coin, and it's caused me nothing but pain and heartache. But, like, I do think that this is probably the bottom or close to, like, assuming Bitcoin doesn't die and get back within the range. But a lot of coins like this look decent, dude. Like, a lot of coins like this look really good. TIA, like, that is a weekly setup. So if we get a pullback on Bitcoin and TIA comes back here, I don't think it will. It looks like that might be way too far of a dip. But if we do, like, bidding this and, like, stop down here is like a giga ape. So a lot of these alts are worth paying attention to, right? Like Inge. Like, a lot of these just have come into support, and they're finally starting to show signs of life. Some are better than others, obviously. But I definitely want to be going on your watch list. That long didn't work out, did it? You definitely want to be going through your watch list, marking out demand that is below price. And then if we do get the pullback that I'm anticipating on Bitcoin, you want to use that as your opportunity to bid those alts. And there's so many of them to go through that are just absolutely bottomed the fuck out and look ready to fucking go. We talked about Keycap being bullish off this weekly level here. That had like a giga rip, almost 200%. WIF, I think, right? I talked about WIF at this weekly order block. It fucking ripped 30+%. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities once Bitcoin gets a bit of a pullback into this area, ideally, and then holds. There's going to be a lot of altcoins that pull back further than Bitcoin and then pump harder, in my opinion. So that's what you want to look for. Now, a couple of things to pay attention to here. And I made a tweet about this like a couple weeks ago, and then I reiterated it today. I said the best thing for the market is Bitcoin all-time high. It's not Solana. It's not meme coins. It's none of that bullshit. Don't allow the feed to confuse you. Bitcoin is still the dominant asset for now. And if we want this rally to continue and go way higher, not just some, like, this is nice. We're in all-time high, but we're like 5% above all-time high. I'm talking like I want us trading 20, 30% higher than all-time high. And if we want that to happen, the best thing is for Bitcoin to remain the dominant asset. Not meme coins, not Ethereum, not Solana. It's nice to see ETH pumping, right? ETH BTC, I posted. I'm like, we got to be close. I posted this here. Things up from there. But it doesn't mean it's out of the woods yet, right? We want Bitcoin to remain the dominant asset because the longer that Bitcoin rallies, the higher it goes, right? It's going to drag everything up with it. And then when it settles down, all of those coins then get their time in the sun. If Bitcoin stops being the leader, like now, and money starts flowing into alts, that to me is actually a bad sign. What you want to see is this. We want to see Bitcoin do one of these, right? Where it goes 50% above the high. And then once it's done its big fucking parabolic move, which we haven't even begun yet, if we're about to, we haven't even begun it yet. This is when altcoins started to go nuts. When Bitcoin had already finished its parabolic ascent and it started going sideways. Because when Bitcoin is rallying parabolically, it's sucking the air out of the room, sucking in all the liquidity. Doesn't mean other shit won't go up. So I don't want to see in the comments, my coin went up more than Bitcoin. I don't give a fuck. Shut the fuck up. I'm speaking in generalities, and this is true. You can look at the data, okay? In general, when Bitcoin is parabolic and dominant, it's sucking the liquidity out of the rest of the market. Altcoins went crazy once Bitcoin had started going sideways and topping. So what we really want to see is a parabolic advance on Bitcoin, much higher than the previous all-time high. I'm talking 6 figures. Like we want to be 90, 100K Bitcoin. And then if it cools out up there, that's when altcoins will start to go crazy. And if Bitcoin goes to 100K, everything will reprice higher with it. And then when it stops being so dominant, altcoins will go even crazier for the last kind of hurrah. That's what you want to see. You do not want to see that happen yet. So if people are being like, hey, it's S's turn, it's Sol's turn, we don't want that yet. We want Bitcoin to go higher, way higher first, then chill out, then altcoins go. Because if the money starts flowing to alts already, and that could be a sign that Bitcoin's already losing its juice. We don't want that to happen yet. We want the God candle. We want the parabolic rally. That's what we're looking for. So this is a little bit longer than the normal quickie updates, but I'll be back into the regular cadence soon. Hope you guys enjoy. I hope you made some money. I haven't seen a single person who laid out that long going into all-time high in advance, in videos, like your boy on a silver platter. So if you're appreciating that shit, let me know in the comments. My fucking Twitter bucks are nothing. I'm getting fucking 8-figure impressions, $100. These other fuckers are getting like $5,000 from Twitter. What the fuck's going on? I blame you guys. I'm just kidding. But apparently I need more engagement from verified followers. So make sure you're shouting me out, letting me know you're making money. Tweet. If you're making money at Breakout, tag me. Show me the payout certificate. I'll interact. I'll retweet your shit. I want to know you guys are winning, right? That's what I'm doing it for. I don't do this for me. These videos are all free for you, right? I don't need to be doing these. I'm doing these to help you guys out. So if they're helping, let your boy know by, sending a little engagement his way. All right, guys? Love you. I hope you all have a great fucking weekend. We'll talk to you later.